Hiya. Welcome to Reading Wednesday. It's your girl, Logan. I'm kidding. It's Logan. I actually finished Frankly in Love by David Yoon. Didn't expect to, really. Well, I did, but I didn't think I'd finish it in time. And then I drew an illustration for that, so that will be on the time lapse here. As we usually do, you know. Second video, we got it down pat at this point, you know what I'm saying? So Frankly in Love, let's get into it. I suppose I should read the end cover sleeve here, even though really I picked this up in the library. I'm not even gonna lie. You know that saying, it's like, oh, don't judge a book by its cover. All readers do. What baloney, you know? Yeah, it's just baloney. I always judge a book by its cover. It's a cute cover, but look at this. It's freaking blue. It's blue. I was like, I'm just gonna read that just because of that. Legit. You know, so I'm just saying. Anyway, inside cover, book review. Here we go. Falling in love is the easiest part. Frank Lee has two names. There's Frank Lee, his American name. Then there's Sung-Min Lee. Sung-Min Lee, his Korean name. No one uses his Korean name, not even his parents. Frank barely speaks any Korean. He was born and raised in Southern California. Even so, his parents expect him to end up with a nice Korean girl, which is a problem since Frank is finally dating the girl of his dreams, Britt Means. Britt, who is smart and nerdy just like him. Britt, who makes him laugh like no one else. Britt, ... who is white. As Frank falls in love for the very first time, he's forced to confront the fact that while his parents sacrifice everything to raise him in the land of opportunity, their traditional expectations don't leave a lot of room for him to be a regular American teen. Desperate to be with Britt without his parents finding out, Frank turns to family friend Joy Song, who is in a similar bind. Together they come up with a plan to help each other and keep their parents off their backs. Frank thinks he's found the solution to all his problems, but when life throws him a curveball, he's left wondering whether he ever really knew anything about love or himself at all. In this moving novel, debut author David Yoon takes on the question of who am I, with a result that is humorous, heartfelt, and ultimately unforgettable. I disagree. I did not enjoy this book one bit. This is honestly one of the worst. Frankly in Love gave me one of the worst reading experiences I've ever had. I've only comparable to two other YA books I've read. Frankly in Love was just like, I think I enjoyed reading maybe 20% of it. Out of the entire journey, I only enjoyed maybe 20%. I was never looking forward to finishing this book for any reason other than to trash it because I knew I would. I knew I would. I did not like this book, okay? But let's try to get through some of the very few pros I did have, okay? David Yoon, husband of Nicola Yoon. I don't know, is it Nicola or Nicola? I don't know. But she wrote Everything, and then the son is also a star. But we'll get into that later. Anyway, this book. One of the first pros I had, actually, was the writing style. I didn't think the writing was bad, okay? I actually thought David had a very nice voice. I really did like his voice, and his way of writing was very refreshing, I thought. It just didn't do anything. It was kind of sad though. It feels wasted because I didn't really like any of the characters. But the voice was very good. I thought he was very, it was very well written. Gosh, I remember seeing a review on GoodReads where it was someone said he was verbose, which you know, means a lot, you use a lot of words, and trust me, I've read some books where it's this author is just in love with themselves, or they love their own words, because I see a sentence where I'm like, you said that, you chose to say that in the most ridiculous, unnecessary way. I was like, this sentence is 20 words, easily could have been 10. I don't know why you did this, but okay. And I didn't think he was like that, so I actually disagree. I didn't think he was verbose at all. I don't think he spent too long on like descriptions or anything like that, and I thought he did have a very nice way of saying some things in a nice easy humor throughout that wasn't like forced or anything. It was nice and quirky, but it's not so hell-bent on being quirky, maybe, if that makes sense. Voice itself was very good because I did believe that Frank was a teenager, and of course, like I was always, this is not written by a teenager, so that was nice. I also enjoyed the world building. It takes place in like Southern California, as they say, like Playa Mesa or something. And he did a good job of establishing the fact that he's in a Korean family, and they're immigrants. He has immigrants for parents, and they all are friends with other Korean immigrants. I thought that was done pretty well. And we didn't spend much time in school. Like, there's no need to because he's about to graduate anyway, but he did the good job of capturing the feeling of about to go into the next chapter of your life. He did a good job of even though I didn't go to college for reasons I'm not like really getting into in this video. I didn't want to, but I didn't want to go to college. But anyway, he did a good job of them looking forward to getting those acceptance letters and, you know, trying to spend the last few days with their high school. He really captured that mood and that feeling of moving on into the next chapter of your life. He did that well. Sadly, that's all I have for the prose. That's it. We got writing style, voice, and world building, and then after that, I'm really like, the core of this video is probably going to be me just trashing what I didn't like about it, which were a lot of things, okay? Number one, for me, it was I could not relate to these characters. I really couldn't. I know some people could. I saw some people felt very seen by this. And I also thought that some of the characters were unlikable, too. So the thing is, the fake dating trope has to be introduced all because of Frank's parents, who are racist and Korean, and they just want him to marry a Korean girl. They don't want him to marry any other race. And it's already established that his sister fell in love with a black man, and because of that was just cut off, ostracized, abandoned pretty much. She's no longer part of the family. They don't really talk to her. She tries to call them, they don't answer, sort of that thing. So they're just racist. And Frank was like, he's like, it's so exhausting to constantly tell them, that they're racist, so I kind of just give up and things. And that was something I just really could not relate to, even though my parents aren't racist, have never really been racist in any way, I don't think. I can't remember a single time that my parents have said anything that made me go, made me just stop for a minute. They've never done anything like that, and I'm fortunate for that. I'm thankful, because I know, obviously not everyone has that. Some people have families that they really are kind of ashamed of, or feel out of place in, and I can get that. But in my head, if I did have racist parents, I would constantly be letting them know, hey, but your daughter's not racist. I'm not racist like you. I'm not. Okay? I just happen to be born to you guys. And I would be, if it was me, bruh, I'd be popping a squat until 18. I would legit just be popping a squat. I'd be like saving my money. I'd be like, okay, as soon as I'm able to, as soon as I'm allowed to, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna get my own place. I'm not gonna stay with you guys anymore. That would legit just be such a toll on my mental health. If my parents were racist and I had to live with that every day, that would tear me apart. And so I was like, I couldn't really relate to Frank on that notion of kind of just giving up and being like, I'm so tired. I think I would probably get there, but I mean, the fact that it's just, I was like, this is not enough of a problem for this man to me. So I didn't really like him. And all the other characters in the book, I liked Q. I did like Q, and I liked Joy, and I thought I was gonna draw them even, because they were the only characters I really liked. And then he took them away near the end, but I'm getting ahead of myself. One of the other things I really hated was the flat and useless character of Britt Means. From that inside cover, He says it's the girl of his dreams. Lies. Just utter lies. Also, like 50 pages in, they're already dating, and they're like just really lovey-dovey for no reason, and that's 50 pages in. Like, these hoes just met, and then they're just like all about each other for some reason, and I hate that. I don't know a single reader who loves insta-love like that. I don't know a single reader who's not utterly peeved by that idea. Okay? I need the Yoons to get it together, because David did it in this book where you just put two characters together. There's no chase, there's no wanting on either. It's just they're already together. I blink and they kissing and I'm confused. Okay. David did it, and then Nicola did it in like The Sun Is Also a Star, where she had two characters fall in love in the course of literally one day, and I was not about it. I was just, no. I didn't even read that book because I was so upset about that idea. Anyway, but Brit means the white girl who pushes this plot forward, or is supposed to, because he's in love with her, and that's the whole reason for the fake dating trope he has with Joy, which, let me tell you, is not even written correctly. The fake dating trope is supposed to be they're in all these situations where they act cutesy and lovey-dovey, and then the one person starts catching feelings even though it's supposed to be fake, you know? And he didn't even do that, because he's fake dating, Frank is fake dating Joy, but then they're like saying they're going on a date and he's actually meeting up with Brit. It kind of ruins the fake dating trope, because you've added this notion of cheating that no one likes. It's very hard to get to root for two characters who are cheating, essentially. It's hard to do that. Morally, okay? For anybody, I think. Unless you're just a piece of crap and you love to cheat on people. I don't know if you love to cheat on people. If you're like, you have a problem with monogamy, then maybe this would have been for you. And you could have easily bypassed the fact that these people are, dating two other people and not each other. Okay? But that was, no. So Brit Means was kind of just, I felt like the fake dating trope in this book was just to sell copies, and it was because he was writing a young adult novel, and that trope is usually very successful in that genre, but he didn't even write it correctly, and it was completely unnecessary overall. Okay, it really is just, Brit Means, her character was flat as a pancake, baby, flat as roadkill. Okay, she had no personality. He gave her one, but it was just like, honestly, reminiscent of Manic Pixie Dream Girl to me, okay? Which isn't fun. I don't like that trope. I don't think any woman really does. You could just tell how impertinent she was in the whole story. You could tell this character ultimately she doesn't mean anything. And I mean, that was proven correct. Like, throughout the plot, later on, she gets dumped. They break up. He gets with Joy. Spoiler alert, I get it. And she was written, it was so just, why was she ever here? Why was she here? Is what I was left with. Just like, why did we even have her involved, okay? And then, so, another thing this is like a tiny part. So his best friend is black, his name is Q, and then Q has a twin sister named Yvonne, okay? And from the get-go, he just calls her Hot Yvonne, okay? Which made me upset. One, because why is her whole thing just being hot, and he never gets into that? Like, he just calls her hot, but like never talks about liking her or anything. I don't know. I was put off by that. I was like, why is that her one thing? And then the fact that she always needs a charger and just like takes his chargers all the time. I was very confused by it, okay? And then also I felt mad because he's calling her hot, and I'm like, so you're telling me there's an alternate reality where I get an Asian boy, black girl romance, but this is not the reality I'm in? Get out of here. I'm like, I feel insulted for some reason. You're not gonna have this Asian boy call this black girl hot and never talk about her in like a romantic sense. I'm very upset about it. I'm very upset. I was like, this is stupid. This is dumb, okay? And then the last thing that made me, honestly, this is like the most upset, was near the half mark of the book. I don't know what the heck happened with Mr. David Yoon. I don't know if he started getting bored with his writing process. It seemed like there were so many unnecessary subplots coming out the wazoo. It felt like this man wrote subplots on like little sheets of paper, put them in a jar, closed his eyes and just like picked some out and then just wrote that into the story. I don't know what was happening. I don't know. But there were so many unnecessary subplots. Spoiler alert, because I'm going to get into some of them. The one that really isn't unnecessary, but it kind of kickstarts where it starts to just be excessive and weird, was his father, Frank's father, owns a convenience store, and he gets shot there. And I'm like, all right, that one was okay because that was real. Okay, that one, it actually pushed the story along, and it made him like, Frank took the life more seriously and stuff, you know, starts thinking more about his choices and stuff. So we got his father shot, okay. And then later on it's revealed that him getting shot shows that he has cancer, and he only has like 6 months to live. And I was like, geez, okay. Now if that was the only storyline we had, I think that would have been okay. But then we added other things where Frank's sister, who was ostracized, you know, from the family, is revealed to be pregnant. And I was like, what? And then that brings the family together, apparently. Like, they stopped being racist and realized how stupid they've been. But that's not really the reason. The real reason is because his father got shot. So I'm just like, tell me why she had to be pregnant too, though. Tell me why she had to be pregnant too. I'm just like, what is the reason? What is the reason? Okay. And then, so Joy and Frank are dating. She breaks up with him because apparently their families, Joy's family has been classist to Frank's the whole time, unbeknownst to them. They've just been like, oh yeah, you're poor. And then Frank's dad, who's now about to die, he ain't got time for no more crap and fake friends in his life. So he's like, nah, but you in debt, homie. He's like, you in debt, but I may be poor, but at least I pay he's like, I can pay my bills paid, okay? And I ain't owe nobody nothing. And I was like, that was a gangster move. That was gangster. But then their families were like apart, and Joy, I don't know, she just broke up with him because she couldn't take it. I don't know. It was stupid. I was just like, okay. I was like, that was upsetting to me. But then they break up. And then there's another unnecessary subplot that literally David Yoon adds like in the last 20 pages of the book, which is a big no-no. Do not introduce any plot like 20 pages left. That's ridiculous. But they've been hinting towards Q. They always ask Q who he likes, and he just like plays like, oh, they're already dating someone else. He just plays it off like that. And then Frank is delivering his best friend's Dungeons and Dragons die in a bag, okay? And dude opens the door and just kisses him out the blue. And that made me so mad because we have already established that kissing someone who does not know they're about to be kissed, that's not cool. That is sexual assault. We're not doing that. I'm tired of it. Kissing, it's a very rom-com early 2000s move that we have now determined is not cute. It is not cute. Do not kiss me if I do not want to be kissed. If I am not aware that a kiss is about to happen, if I do not hear the romance music in my head, do not kiss me. Do not kiss me. It is not a time. It is not the time. I was very upset. I was like, now not only have you turned one of my favorite characters into someone who thinks that you can just kiss someone without their consent. He was like, now he's like, I'm gay and I'm in love with you, apparently. That's what that kiss was supposed to say, that he's in love with him the whole time. And I was like, I'm not feeling that either. I'm not feeling it, okay? I'm tired. It just feels insulting, okay? Like, I'm just... like the gay friend being in love with their straight friend. I'm tired of it, okay? I just don't do that. It's weird. And it's not true. Like, it's just dumb. It's so stupid that to have that trope be a thing, that gay people are like, oh, you're just in love with your straight friends. No, they're not. No, they're not, okay? It's icky to me. It's icky and weird to do that. And it's like a very self-centered, honest, like, trope to have. I'm tired of it, okay? Wasn't a fan of it. So those things really just made me very upset in this book. I was like, why are we throwing so many things into this plot for no reason? But those are the main reasons. Oh, I didn't get into why Joy made me upset. Joy was one of my favorite characters too, okay? So, spoiler alert, Frank's dad dies. This dude dead, okay? We at his funeral. This hoe comes up to him. He's like, she's looking at his lips a lot, okay? And so he's thinking, he's like, she wants another, she's waiting for like a final kiss or something, but they already kissed and they're already broken up. So he's like, have a nice day. But it was the fact homegirl tried to get a kiss at a funeral for me. I'm like, Frank just became a whole half orphan. This dude is a whole orph, and you just tried to kiss him at his father's funeral? What vibes were you picking up, boo? What were the vibes? Because I don't understand. I ain't never been at a funeral and been like, time to kiss. I ain't never been that. I have never had that inkling. So I'm just like, where were you? Where did you get the vibes? Put them back because they were wrong. I don't understand. I don't get it. I was very upset about that. After that, she was dead to me. I was like, this hoe really tried to get a kiss at a man's funeral? Nah, no. So, hopefully the time lapse is done by now, because I'm done. Those are the reasons I did not like Frankly in Love. It was just the totally unnecessary white girl thrown into it that I think was used just to sell like copies and like market this to a YA audience. Was that fake dating trope that he didn't even write correctly, okay? And then the unlikable characters for me personally, a lot of unnecessary subplots, and that's pretty much the main reasons I did not like this book. Now, so this is the illustration I made based on this book, but not really based on it, because let me tell you, this represents the book I wish I had read, the characters I wish I had met. In this one I gave Frank some longer hair and he wears glasses, just because. And then in this one, this is Joy, okay? And in the book she has like black hair with neon green like highlights underneath, which I'm tired of seeing that. I don't know why, but like in movies, it's like an Asian girl always has some colorful highlights or peekaboo highlights. I don't know why that's a thing. I'm like, I've never seen that many Asian, I'm like so confused. I'm like, why do they always have to have highlights underneath? But in this one, she's just a full out punk, and she's like dyed her whole head, and she don't really care that her parents are racist, and she does not like try to make them comfortable at all. In this one, she's kind of just, she a baddie. She do what she want to do. She good. I like her. Okay. And the book I wish I had read. And then this is Q, who does not have a crush on him. Okay. Very upset about that. He's just the boy who got into college with a perfect SAT score, as he should have been. I'm very tired. That's so unnecessary. It was so unnecessary. And he also does not kiss people without their consent. Okay. And then this is his hot sister Yvonne, but she's not known as the hot sister Yvonne, and she's bald because that makes sense to me. I don't know why. I just thought that'd be cool. Yeah. This is what I wish I had read, okay? This is the characters I wish I had met. This right here would have done me some justice, but I did not get that. I did this with Gouache, by the way, and this took me 4 days. It felt like it took forever. It took me 4 days. I'm just impatient like that. But I really like how it turned out. Mostly it's Gouache and then Copic Multiliners and some Copics. I did use like Copics and then just the yellow as paint. I love that skirt, by the way. That skirt's like one of my favorite things, and I added this blush on the cheeks for no reason. It just felt like the right thing to do. And I kind of I wanted to mark it off like it was an old picture, like a picture they had. That's why there's more space here than on the sides. Just some of my artistic choices. So, yeah. That's my review of Frankly in Love by David Yoon. Honestly, I don't recommend it, but, maybe you'll like it better than me. I don't know. Read what you want. I don't care. It just didn't do it for me. I gave it literally 1 star. I thought I would give it 3, but then he hit me with those last 100 pages, and I was 1 star. Lastly, let's read the spoiler alert, not spoiler, what the heck, the review I gave it. So this book is such a mess. Halfway through, it feels like Yoon started getting bored and then added as many random subplots as possible in order to keep writing, or even wrote them all on little slips of paper and blindly picked from a jar. One, Q's dad is shot. That's actually not so bad if that was it, but it leads to us to number 2. He's got cancer and is about to die. 3, Hannah's pregnant. 4, Q's gay and in love with Frank, because all LGBTQ people are in love with their straight friends, of course. I think there's a good book in here somewhere if you threw out the completely unnecessary fake dating trope that he didn't even write properly, along with the one-dimensional white girl whose impertinence is blinding. If Yoon just wrote about Frank as an Asian American with immigrant parents falling in love with June while all the other stuff happened, I think it could have been good. All the crap Yoon throws at you muddies any meaningful racial conclusions, not that there are any. And I have this book to thank for one of the worst reading experiences I've ever had in my short 20 years of life. So, that is it. That is my review, completely on Frankly in Love. Right now I'm still reading War Girls. And I haven't, actually that's the only book I'm reading technically. I picked up some others. I have Black Buck I plan on reading, which is a black satire. And then I also got, oh Lord, I got Octavia E. Butler's Parable of the Sower. Is that what that's called? Where is it? Yeah, Parable of the Sower, which I definitely will review on this channel, but that's it. This is a very long video, so thank you for watching. Go read a book, have some thoughts. Bye.